is the biggest man on the floor right now for the Cavs. LeBron is the next biggest, so he's effectively playing the power forward position right now.
Going to mix and match. And, you know, there's a lot of talk that Jason Kidd, LeBron James lobbying for him. Not sure that they're going to make a move, but when they're healthy and all their pieces are in place, they win games.
Right now, LeBron taking a lot of shots. Sometimes he lets the game come to him, but with so many of the other weapons for this team out, he may feel the need to do more earlier than he normally does. He's 4 for 9 already tonight. And Iverson commits the foul, gambling on the steal. So Iverson and Anthony headed to the All-Star game. There have not been a ton of All-Star starters. David Thompson, of course, a great collegiate player at NC State, getting starts in the late 70s. And the last man to start an All-Star game for the Denver Nuggets, Alex English in 1989 until this year. Love those old Nuggets jerseys, the one that English. So 2 All-Star starters coming from Denver. And maybe not as a starter, obviously, but you could make a pretty good case that Marcus Camby deserved to be in the All-Star game.
Well, I don't think there's any question. He's back-to-back block shots leader in the league. He's about to lead the league if he keeps on pace for the 3rd year in a row. And George Karl actually said to us, the hardest guy for him to replace in his lineup, Marcus Camby.
Yep. He's the rebounder, the shot blocker, the anchor defensively. He's never been to an All-Star game. Eduardo Nahara into the game for Denver. We get a push from behind by Devin Brown. Cleveland is giving up size at almost every position on the floor right now. For more on Marcus Camby, let's go to Rick Bucher.
I had a chance to talk to him about what you might call an all-star snub, and he said he's already got his plans for Barbados, but if he should get the injury call from Commissioner David Stern, he is willing to cancel those and make an appearance in New Orleans.
Well, you know, it's good to have a fallback plan, and Barbados sounds like a pretty good idea this time of year. Anthony gets the friendly bounce, and Carmelo's having a big night with 15 already, as Doris mentioned. Remember, coming off a career-high 49 on Friday night against Washington.
And he's mixed and matched. He hasn't done it all on the post-up. It's been the jump shot transition.
Devin Brown, the no-look feed off to LeBron, elevates and knocks down the baseline jam.
We make a decision with LeBron. Is he a passer? Is he using his back-to-the-basket game? What is he doing? Where is his scoring coming from? George Karl said, we build our defensive game plan based on what we see with him.
He's got a dozen. The rest of his team has a dozen as Hughes knocks it away from Iverson. It'll stay with the Nuggets. Daniel Marshall was getting set to check in, but then Mike Brown changed his mind and sent him back to the bench. Either that or Daniel doesn't have his jersey on again, like a couple of weeks ago when he was checking in Seattle and didn't have his jersey on under his warm-up.
That really, LeBron enjoyed that moment.
Oh, boy. It was the first time he had played in a long time. Iverson, he can just get places where it doesn't look like there's any space.
Doesn't look like he's lost a step, and as well as anybody in the league, the guy changes pace. He freezes the defense just by a moment's hesitation.
So both big scores for the Nuggets already into double figures. Larry Hughes with 5 early, but misses the 3 right at the end of the first quarter. And a productive first quarter for the visitors. Denver shoots 63% in the first quarter, led by Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson. It's an 11-point lead for the Nuggets here in Cleveland. The injury-depleted Cavaliers are off to a slow start here tonight.
Welcome back, Coach. Tell me what the plan defensively was with LeBron James.
We'll try to crowd him as much as possible. We don't want to go in a total full double team situation right now. More like plugging him and zoning him and read if he's going to make jump shots tonight. I thought early in the first quarter they got a lot of layups, but after that we did a pretty good job.
All right, and Allen Iverson got it going early for you. Did you see that coming? Was that part of the plan?
Well, the faster the pace of the game is, the more I think we can get into gaps and get to the rim. And we've also been making our outside jump shots. So right now, offensively, we've got a nice flow.
Thanks, Coach.
Well, they certainly do have a nice flow. You cannot say the same thing about the Cavaliers in the first quarter. It's been LeBron and not a whole lot else. Carmelo Anthony's got 15 points, 7 of 10 shooting. Allen Iverson's got 11 points, 5 of 6 shooting. The rest of the team 9, but because of those two guys, they've got a comfortable lead. LeBron has half of Cleveland's points, 12 of their 24.
A nice flow, 62% field goal shooting in the first quarter.
Well, they are the 4th highest scoring team in the NBA, averaging almost 107 points per game. And Cleveland turnover.
Well, it's interesting with him. Everybody knows his North Carolina roots, George Karl. He was talking to us about points per possession defensively because they give up a lot of points. Their field goal percentage defense is not that bad. They're high in the league in terms of where they are steals per game and turnovers forced. So, what is it? Is it poor defense or is it the pace at which they play?
Well, even Coach Karl says he doesn't know. His defense confounds him sometimes. Nice spinning fadeaway jumper by Linus Kleza, third year out of the University of Missouri, who has really expanded his offensive game as a pro. James the kick to Donyell Marshall. Back out to LeBron, and we have a 3-second call against the Cavs.
Yeah, I mean, Clay's a guy who really did not come into the league with a tremendous offensive arsenal. Now he shoots the three with great consistency. He's actually added a dribble drive. A guy, along with Allen and Carmelo, who's had 40 in a game this year.
That's right, at 41 against Utah. And here he is launching the three. Damon Jones tried to tap it back and almost tapped it out of bounds. And again, you look at this Cleveland lineup. Damon Jones, Devin Brown, Donyell Marshall, Cedric Simmons, and LeBron. This is in all likelihood a lineup that has never been together because Mike Brown is having to go very deep without Varejao, without Gooden, without Gibson, without Pavlovich.
Hard to win games without your horses. They've done a remarkable job of just trying to stay in things. You think about Atlanta. They have 5 of their top 7 rotation out, and Mike Brown pieces it together, and they win the game.
On the road. A foul on Kleza. Beat Atlanta by 5 in Atlanta on Friday night. They had Gibson in that game. They don't, and they hope to have Gibson and Gooden back in their next game. LeBron for 3. Well, he's going to have to carry him tonight from the looks of things. He's got 15.
He makes things a little bit easier anyway.
Not matched up on Carmelo. Anthony Carter steps in. They'll give him the jump shot. And the rebound comes down to the Cavs. Well, LeBron kind of playing this one right now, Doris, like it's a fourth quarter. Again, sometimes he'll let it come to him and then take over late. He obviously realizes looking around tonight he might have to take over for all 48 minutes tonight.
Yeah, I think he's got a great sense of when his team needs points, when they need him to set other guys. And with Ilgauskas out of the game, he has got to be the focal point offensively because you cannot work through Big Z.
Ilgauskas getting a breather. J.R. Smith comes into the game and now for Denver, a guy who's had his best game of the season this year at the expense of the Cavs. At 29 points, hit 7 threes against Cleveland back in November. But has not shot the ball well the last couple of months, and his minutes have gone down as a result. Brown tries to thread the needle inside, gets it back. The follow is good for Donyell Marshall.
Good weak side rebound. They had gone into a zone, so your check out a little bit less clear.
Well, Kleza, the quick trigger from the corner. And it'll be Cleveland ball. Well, Donyell Marshall is already miles ahead of where he was on the 31st of January. Hey, Donyell, maybe have a jersey on. Now, to be fair, he had been injured. He hadn't played in 3 months, and there it was. When he took off his warm-up, it looked like it came off with it, and he didn't know. And as far as LeBron was concerned, that's about the funniest thing he's ever seen.
LeBron got such a kick out of that.
Smith. And that's what gets Smith in trouble sometimes, trying to make the spectacular instead of the safe.
Yeah, let's go back to LeBron. That is hysterical. I can relate a little bit. I, as a young woman, went to an all-guys camp, and they went shirts and skins. And I was on the skins team.
They double out on LeBron on the perimeter. Open is Damon Jones. A pretty good three-point shooter, but he missed that one fairly wide to the right. The Mohawks coming in nicely for Damon Jones. We'll give him that, but missed his first outside opportunity of the night.
I think they've switched trends from tattoos to somehow hairstyle, facial hair.
The beard look is in now. San Antonio's growing beards on their rodeo road trip as Carmelo simply cannot be stopped right now. 17 already.
Yeah, that's a lot of back to the basket. They're coming with a double dam, but it's too late. He's just feeling where the defense is coming from and turn it over his left shoulder.
Just set a career high on Friday night. Is that going to go by the wayside here tonight? They got a defensive 3 seconds call and a timeout on the floor. Cleveland trying to creep closer, but LeBron's not getting a whole lot of help out there. Nuggets lead by 10.